Hello everyone, my name is Erados12. If you don't know me, that's fine. If you do, well, great. Today, we're actually going to be doing some more work on the game, not the UE4 one, this one that you see on screen. Now, if you could see here, I actually, pardon me, it's I, not we, went ahead and actually added in the breach infantry. Now, the breach infantry was on my mind for a long time. However, I decided to do this right now instead of earlier because, actually, I did decide to do it early, and I decided to do it now since we're doing shotguns, because why not? Oh, and let me adjust this real quick. Should be shotgun, because let me explain the breach infantry real quick, and then we'll get right into this. So, the breach infantry is basically a shotgun wielding unit or department. Now, they do have room for grenades, as you can see here, but they have a lot less for any grenades. They don't use tacticals very much, sadly, because the system can't support like 2 types of grenades at once like that. underslung, none whatsoever. They can't use any assault rifles. They cannot use underslung grenades as well. Obviously, because there's no assault rifle to attach the grenade launcher on. And they can't use launchers either, as you can see here. And they can use pistols and shotguns. They can equip frags and flashbangs, but no incendiaries. And the traits are the same, except nade pack is removed because of the fact that they can only carry about so many grenades. So, we have that. Now let's get into this. I'm going to click play, and we're going to see what happens. Now let me just turn on the sound, just to be sure. And also, if you can hear me well, this is a new mic that I got off of Amazon. So, yeah. I got a new mic. So now we can actually do this much better than what we used to. Okay, it's loading. Just takes a while on this machine. Alright, and it takes a while to load stuff there too, I would assume. Now, as you can see here, this is UFK, or Unrest for Kings. And, yeah, this is just Unrest for Kings. Oh, there's an error. There's an error. Hold on. Let's find it. Underslung GM. So there's a typer error. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, you're going to find out in a minute. I'm going to show you how the unit system works, because this relates to what we're going to do today, because that's how we access the shotgun and test it, of course. So keep that in mind. So hold on. I'm going to pause it for a minute, even though this is a noise canceling mic here. Sorry about that, guys. Had to talk with my mom for a minute. Anyways, let's do this. So I'm gonna go to Explorer and find the repository. Yep. Right about. Hold on. I think it's in gameplay. Yeah, it's in gameplay. So as you can see here, this is the player unit. So there's a positive number. And what does that mean? Well, we'll just put it at 0. Let's just say 5. It has to be positive in order for it to work, because if it doesn't, then you won't have any grenades, or a negative number. I'm going to just publish these changes, and it won't matter anyway, because there's no assault rifles to use to actually launch underslung grenades. So keep that in mind. Stream is a little shaky, but it's alright. Okay. Also keep in mind, you might experience some frame drops. This is an online game. Sadly, it is. I wish it could be standalone, but we'll get there someday. And we got another issue. Boolean. Okay. I think I know what's wrong. So what's wrong is there's a localization table that is used for this. And I accidentally forgot that the table itself has some issues. Like, let me explain. So this is a localization table, and yet, hold on. Sorry about that. I accidentally had Twitch up. Another mishap, but it's alright. So what happened was, here's what happened. So, if I can recall, there is a table, a localization table that's used for this. And as you can see here, this translates it. Like, some of my friends have helped me actually translate a lot of units and stuff inside of there, such as weapons. But the problem is, this is the unit category. It's divided into categories, and basically, there's an underscore that separates the title, or whatever you have on the right, which is this, and what's on the left, which is the category, that. So, I'll be right back when I have that done. Alright, we're back. So I've got it, and as you can see, this is selected. So this is game localization. Now if we play it, it should work. Yeah, I'm just typing right now. Okay, so now we're in, and looks like it works now. So, okay, it should load. There we go. There's the spawns. Now, if we go here to loadout, this thing will let me. It is kind of slow, but it's okay. So, you see some errors there. That's because there's eliminations in this game. Like basically you will get eliminated if you get killed and lose that one life. You basically have to build up lives in order to stay in the game. So if we go here, we'll go to infantry. And I'm going to check breach, infantry. Now it should, yep, there it is. The shotgun is right there. Now the positioning needs to be adjusted. So we're going to actually stop this. And we're going to try to see if we can do this right. So yeah, this is an internet Roblox game. I get it. The frame rate is terrible when it comes to running it. But that's okay, because I am going to adjust that. We're just going to see how this fares out with just one. If I can find the game config, one unit. And I'm going to make that like, let's just say I'm going to make this 2. Yeah, player limit 2. That way it's not too big of an issue. The next thing I'm going to do, okay, that's blue. So now we're going to get the shotgun adjusted, see what happens. So let's go to the items, find the model. I can find it. Yep, Remington model 1894. The reason why it uses its full name is because there could be other 1894s out there. Hold on, let me just... Okay, there we go. So this is the shotgun, and I believe the trigger should be lowered. There's a reason why. Lowered below the trigger guard, because here's the deal. You want it to be able to be used by this in a different light, so that the arms conform better. So now we put that back in, press play, and it should run. A little bit better than before, if you ask me. So, yeah. Should run a little bit better than before. Yep, I can see it's now red. The performance quality of the stream. And now it's green again. Okay. Still loading. It's going to be a little faster because there's not going to be many units in here. So now I'm going to check this one. I'm going to find the loadout. And I'm going to select partisan, or the unit button. Click breach. And there we go. Much better. I like that. So let's see how it fares in game, if we can get there. So click deploy, and just wait for it to come up if we can. Just waiting for it to load. So now there is a problem. I gotta find it. FOV, shot name. Yep, just what I thought. So here's an update for you. I just realized that the buckshot, if the frame rate was dropping, was not that effective. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's find out. We go here, get shot name, cartridges, right? Self.name, get shot name. So now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, go to configurations, And we find the magazine. Yep, just like I thought. Should be the cartridge name, not the magazine. So, cartridge, or cart name, get shot name, and there we have it. That'll fix that. Because the cartridge name is more important than the... Oh, wait. Hold on. So if we go to magazine, we gotta go to the object and check that. That's the reason why I did it. I stopped this. So it is cartridge name. Now I remember correctly what I'm doing. So, okay, perfect. So now we got that. So the next thing we're going to do after this runs, hopefully, is, well, hopefully when it runs, you'll be able to see it better. So, just keep that in mind. And when it runs, should get a lot better shotgun in terms of the shot and how it fires it, I guess. So let's see, loadout, unit, infantry, breach. Okay, gauge types. So gauge types, GI is gauge types, and then you have the gauge index. So Boolean, interesting. There's supposed to be a gauge in here. So I'm thinking setup gauge isn't used. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, we need the cartridge. So here's what I'm going to do to fix that. If we can wait for it to stop right away. Okay, so first do if local set up cartridge, and an if gauge index, then, and what this does is that it allows me to check and see if that is not nil, or in other languages it would be called null, or null pointer if you're dealing with C++ pointers. Yes, I know about that. So now I'm going to do, hold on, I just gotta rub my nose. Setup cartridge equals this. If setup cartridge, then setup cartridge, setup gauge. And the gauge will be self.gauge index. Now if we look here, that's exactly what I'm talking about right there. Setup cartridge, get shot name, or self.name. So let's see how that works. So now it should run a lot better than what it's been doing in terms of the shot. It should be much better. So I'm gonna wait through this, and we're going to make sure this works. So now if it will run, let's see if we can click that. Loadout, unit, breach. It's not onslaught. Oh yeah, that's breach. Okay. So as you can see, that on the right, the text is kind of done like that. So if I were to make it text scaled, it wouldn't feel very fluid and coherent. But you can clearly see that's a Remington model, 1894. So let's just try it out. Okay, there's a problem. So we're gonna solve that right away. So FOV is not a valid member of model. I think because we forgot the FOV and it's required. Yes, it is a required, I think, int value. So I'm going to publish changes just to make sure. And we're going to take something like, I don't know, this, and put it in here so that it can run. Yes, it's required in order for that to work. I'm thinking of someday actually solving that problem, but for right now, we're just going to do this as is. So, okay. So now, what we got to do next. Yeah, that's my cell phone. If you heard that, probably didn't. What we're going to do next is we're going to go to infantry, breach, and just see if this thing shoots. Now, I doubt if we're going to be able to shoot in a certain way because, okay, here we go. As you can see here, I can move the mouse, but I cannot, and I mean cannot, aim down sights just yet, and I definitely cannot shoot. So let's see about the output. 12 gauge. That's your issue right there. Yep, just that. So the big problem is the 12 gauge. However, as you can see, it looks really nice in terms of how it's held, and I like that. So let's just continue to make sure that stays the way it is. Let's see here. I'm going to go to main. Create cartridge is right there. Okay. Get round is 12 gauge. So now what we got to do is we got to take this down here, if I can find it, and we're going to put that right in the round. Now watch this. What we also have to do is we have to take this code here and use it as well. So round N would not be cartridge name. It would just be, yeah. It will only be that if there's no other option. So basically, if you don't have a gauge index on there, then you don't need a cartridge to be a shotgun round. Or in other words, you wouldn't have to use a different name other than the cartridge name for it. And right now we're just attaching the rounds to the shotgun because we're going to get the animation shortly. So just keep that in mind. So now all I got to do is just wait for this. I'm going to try the Eastern Road again. Like that song goes, on the road again. Yeah. Okay, got that. And let's see how it works. Oops. That happens sometimes. And we got another problem. So let's fix it. ID. Scope ID. Do we even need the scope ID? It's weird. Like, why do we actually need that? So, I don't think we need a scope. That just doesn't play right. Um, if, let's see. We actually don't need that because that's for like a GUI or something. So, let's just take that out. Yeah. In fact, let's just do this. Just take it out entirely and keep it like that because we don't need that. Anyways, let's just check up here. So we got that, and now we just need to fix this. So if we go to 280, just click on it for just a minute. Oh wait, you can't. So I'm going to go to Effects, Fire Name Sequence, go to 280, and if we look at this, this is going to be the list. And if we look at this, right here, there's not a darn thing in there. So here's what we do. Fire sequence equals fire sequence end equals, and I think this is how it runs, but we'll have to check with the I think the R8. Yep, that's correct. So now we'll just test it again. Okay, should run shortly. Alright, still waiting. Okay. Should be running. Alright, there it is. So now go to loadout. As usual, we do the usual. On breach. And there you have it. Yeah, that happens. This is because this is a new shotgun. And usually the rounds don't really go in too much, since we haven't worked with shotguns in a while. Oh wow, look at that. What just happened there? Yeah. So as you can see, there's a problem there. And I believe I know what it is. So no shell. And we have client. So if we go to the client, well first let's just look at this. Alright. So hopefully it'll stop soon. So alright. So if we look at this, 1810 says no shell, of course. So let's see. Let's go to that script first before we do that. Alright, find, actually not find, go to 1810. And as you can see here, there's bullet settings. The bullet settings are gone. And I think I know why. Hold on, let me find it. Wrong script. There we go. So here, if we look down, that's all you see is no bullet settings. So I'm going to add them back in, and no shell equals true, because you take those out of the gun once you are done firing them, both barrels. So excuse me for a minute. And then if we look into the output, we can go all the way down and it will say, well, we already solved that problem. But then we got to go here, 1755. So if we go there, you can see there's a list of things. So that's how that works. And yeah. So now there's a problem. We're going to solve it right now. So yeah. I think it's solved, but I just want to see what happens. Okay. So now all we have to do is we have to just check and see if the shotgun fires, because if I'm not mistaken, I didn't see any tracers. Usually when you play this game, there are tracers that come out of the gun to indicate what cartridge you're firing, and also like the bullet is actually there. So now we gotta fix that problem a little bit later. Yep. So that did nothing. I wonder why. Yeah, I think I know why. So, if I'm not mistaken, there's another thing I didn't tell you about. The shotgun might not have fired any tracers. Oh, wait a minute. What am I saying? Sorry. Yeah, but it didn't fire any tracers, so we'll fix that first, and then we'll get to whatever the problem is with that. So, let's see. Server script. Let's go to fire weapon, and we'll find out where it's at. So we got that, and now we'll look here. As you can see, it says fire, but shot amount. Huh. Weird. I think it's the gauge types. Hold on, let me find out what's going on here. Gauges, yep, got that. Shot amount is 12. Shot amount is 12. And the gauge, if I can find it. Oh, not the gauge, the cartridge. The script that manages it. If I can find it, is right here. So replace the properties, of course. And shot amount should be 1. So that means should have been multiple shots. So anyways, setup gauge should have been in there first. Yeah. So this is gauge index. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think the gauge index is set. So we'll check the magazine script right now just to see if that works. Or if we missed something. Fill ammo crate. Okay, gauge index. Yeah, it's there, but it's self.gauge index. Yeah, it's there. Just say it's there. I mean, honestly, it's just, it's weird. That doesn't fire any tracers. So, the current main index should be 1, of course, and, wow. It's weird. I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna have to probably adjust this a bit. Alright, I'm back and now I am ready to work. So, okay, we know what happened. The thing didn't actually shoot out all the bullets that it was supposed to, or the gun. So, I am thinking current cartridge should be, well, we got it already. However, there might be an issue that we did not see. And yes, it's the phone, if you probably heard that. It's probably not audible because of these headphones. But yeah. Fire weapon. Okay, and then we have fire weapon right here. And I think, yeah. Could that be the problem? Yeah, so that's a grenade. And the cartridge actually needs to be set up. So, this is the problem. Cartridge isn't set up. And, yeah. So now, if we do let's see. If main data get, and then we'll do gauge index, then, and then we'll do cartridge set up gauge, and we'll do this. Alright, so now we got that. All we have to do is just test it right now. I think, yeah, the gauge could be the problem. So, like, honestly, I didn't intend for this to happen, but we're gonna fix it. And to make sure that these bullets work, just to make sure that we didn't do anything wrong, I'm going to fire off some rounds from the assault rifle in game. So, I'm gonna see if I can get the SL9 SD. Oh yeah, let's just do the not the SL9. we're going to try the regular infantry first. See where that goes. Go to the Eastern Road. Deploy. Alright. And see if it works. That round. If I reset, it doesn't actually reset that. So, just so you know. And the next thing I'll do is I'm going to try the breach infantry now to see what exactly happened with the shotgun. So now we got that. I'm going to try this. This is the buckshot. And get bullet is not there, so cartridge, get bullet. So that means one thing. The cartridge name is there, but there is an issue with that. And I know what it is. Just need to wait for this to load. So now if we go to the main, which is right here, and we'll look down. So we have the cartridge name right there. The cartridge name should be, well, let me find it. Cartridge.name. And I think if I look here and we look into gauges, you can find it. Gauge types and gauges. You have the name right there. And you have 12 gauge. You got the name. So now I'm wondering what happened. So if we go to the main, you'll see here that there's a name, but it didn't calibrate. So we'll see. Okay, gauge index. Yep, it's there. And if we set up gauge, as you can see, we get the gauge index first, and then we put it into this. But it's kind of inexplicable to me now that I think about it. But yeah, you get the point. Hold on. Yeah, anyways, I'm gonna be right back when I think about this hard. Alright, I'm back. So, yeah. Anyways, we know that this works because it calibrates the size of the bullet. But this part, I think we could work on that. So, what I'm thinking is, let's see. And this could be better, but we'll figure that out later. Um, I'm thinking gauge index goes in here, right? So setup gauge, of course. And, yeah. The cartridge name is the only issue. So get bullet, let's see. It's a cartridge. Oh yeah, I know what's going on. It's going to be the, oh yeah. I remember now. I definitely remember what happened. So, it's supposed to be the cartridge gauge index. Now, actually, we're going to put this in the arguments. So, if main data get gauge index, and then what we do is this. Well, not exactly that, but here, args.gauge equals this. Now, the reason why I call it gauge is because we're going to have to use this in the bullet framework in order to make it work. So, keep that in mind. Anyways, so we go here to client, and we get the cart name to change. So now we'll do if args.gauge, then, hold on, let me find out what's going on. So if we do args.gauge, then we'll do, or actually it should be vars.gauge, sorry. So vars.gauge cartridge set up gauge. It's a little slow, just bear with me. And then we'll just do vars.gauge. And then once we do that, after this is said and done, we're going to have to make an adjustment to the main script so where it gets the actual cartridge instead of the gauge. So yeah. So that's why we do that. We'll just get the buckshot, put it in, get the gauge, put it in, bam. Just like that. So now we have that. All we have to do is just set it up. Or just test it, rather. My bad. So now, should be loading shortly. Once it loads, I will let you know. Okay, looks like we're in. So now if I can try it, Eastern Road, loadout, unit, infantry, breach. Okay, and deploy. Yep, something's wrong here. Okay, something's definitely wrong. Yeah. That's one issue right there. Index nil with get bullet. And I think the cartridge name comes from the other thing. So, it's weird because, oh, I know what's wrong. Hold on. So if you go to the main and we look up, cartridge name, it's right there. So if we look here and we go to cart, cart is at the end, right? Well, we're not going to supply it anymore because we're going to have to do this. Let's see. I think it's fire weapon, like right here. And basically, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do cart, actually not cart, main data, sorry, just data, rather. Data, get, gauge, index, and nil or cart. The reason for this is so that we can actually make sure that the cartridge sets itself up right so that the bullets can render. So that's the reason for that. So now what we have to worry about after this, if it works, will have to be the animations. Or rather, how we fire this. So, yeah. Let's see if we can do this. Yeah, it's my mom. You can hear it. So, anyways, I'm just gonna check breach. And then we go back to main. Quickly click deploy. And we're going to fire a shot. Or actually, multiple shots. So, we're gonna wait for it. That's weird. Didn't go through. Huh. Interesting. So the bullet didn't go through, of course. I think it's because of the cartridge. So I can just wait for this. We're going to go back to the main script again. Look through that. And gauge index. Yeah. So if we look at this real quick. This is the data. And we get gauge index. And nil or cart. So now if we go to fire weapon. So yeah, I think I know what the issue is. Main data get gauge index and nil or cart. So that's what we're doing here. And I'm gonna just get rid of that. And basically what happens is we're using a ternary operator to actually fix the problem because it will determine, okay, if the gauge index exists, there shouldn't be a cartridge to actually put in, like you shouldn't put in the one provided via the arguments or function. Because if you use that one, it's going to be different, of course, because it uses a different gauge. The reason why we have to set up the gauge twice is because you have to consider the shot amount. Like how many shots are in one shot, or one pull of the trigger for a shotgun. Or if you have many shots, just how many are fired in one cycle. In this case, it's 12 because this is a shotgun. So, okay, it still didn't work. I don't get it, honestly. So, I think, if I'm not mistaken, get bullet is nil. So, wait a minute. Hold on. I think I know what the problem is now. This is difficult, but, you know, you have to go with it. So if we look here, we go down all the way to here. The args is right there. So the gauge index is different. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to actually take out this. Cartridge equals main date, actually, cartridges mag dot cart name, or rather cartridge name. Okay, and now all we have to do is just not set up that gauge. That's how you screw this up. So now we did that. All we have to do is just wait and see what happens. So yeah. Anyways, let's just get back to work on this. So now all we have to do is just test it. I mean, yeah, this is a problem that we have to solve in order for this to work. So I'm going to go straight here, find the marksman, breach, deploy, see if it works. Alright, it works. You can see that. And you can aim down sights. As you can see there, you can aim down sights with that. So that's pretty good. So, yeah, it worked. However, there is an issue. Shot amount is still 1. So we need to actually pass that in. Okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the, what is it called? I'm going to take this, actually take this out. You don't need the gauge index anymore for that. And we're going to pass in cart.shotAmount. And now what we have to do next is we're going to take the, I think there's a spread here. Yeah. Shot is right there. So okay, that's fine. So let's just check the script real quick, because I don't know. Yeah, it's true. Okay. Just making sure. So direction, we have that, but what we don't have is a good spread. It looks like it does it like directly, so I'm going to balance that out. Well, I don't see it, so I'm going to add it in. Or maybe fine. Spread amount. Yep, it's not there. Spread amount equals, let's just say, I don't know, 0.6. Just as a number. We'll see how that works. To make sure that's done, and then once we do that, we're moving straight on to the animations. Okay. So now, what we will do is simple. We will take the loadout, or not take the loadout. What am I doing? We will test it. Just test it. So go to loadout. Go here. Change it to breach. And there we go. See how this works. Okay. Alright. Yep, that works beautifully. Now all we gotta do is fire off the other rounds. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to fire off 2 rounds after we get this right. But first, we're going to see if we can get the rounds in there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to figure out if I can get this working. So we got here 1. So, okay, we got that jet funnel mag, we got 18. I think it should be 2 shots. Next would be 10. And if there's a gauge index, what we're going to do with the user interface after this works is that we're going to take it and we're going to display the same amount of rounds, but we're going to do it differently. We're going to display the ammo count because this is individualized shells that you load into a gun. Yes. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to go straight to the game, and we're going to test this first to see if the 2 shells will work. So, just going to wait for this. And now the loadout. Unit. Breach. Deploy. Okay, that's a problem right there. We can fix that, of course. Alright. Dag. That didn't work. I only had 2 shots, so it almost worked though. I think the spread should be a little bit increased. Just to see where that goes. Yeah, I'm going to increase it to like 1.6, just to be sure. And now we can actually do the UI. So I'm going to go to my HUD manager if I could find it. Yes, I made a HUD manager in the place of what we had before. So now all we have to do is display the ammo. Ammo. Let's just see where that's at. Update ammo count. So now we'll just have to put in gauge, or actually individual. And if it's individual, this is what happens. Mags equals mags times, or actually let's just make this capacity. Mags times capacity. And basically what that does, it will times it by the capacity. And then, oh yeah, and you need an offset. Or actually just use ammo. Ammo. It's better. So, ammo will be right here. And then we'll just put in the mags and we're done. So now all we gotta do is go straight to the client, find update ammo count, and then feed type would be clip, or main data get gauge index, and then once we do that, we'll do let's see, main data get ammo. So what does that do? Well, basically we have it where if it's a clip, meaning you can load individual bullets in, or if it's a gauge, which means you can load shells in, then it will set up that. And then you also have to supply the ammo once you have that. So let's go to the magazine script right now, because I may have to make some changes. Okay. Shot capacity. Self.size times. Or actually, let's do max count. Max count. Actually, wait a minute. Individual, just like that. Self.size. Or shot capacity. Size times self dot max count. Basically what that does is it allows us to actually set the size and the max count, like combine these together with multiplication so that you can have this. And then all we have to do for that is go to the main, and I think, hold on, wait a minute. I think if I'm not mistaken it's down here. Yes it is. So we do that. Ammo is different, so I'm gonna have to do it a little differently. And then we'll just put in the 0 if, let's see, data set ammo end, just end stands for individual, and then we'll do that. So now we'll go back to the client and do ammo individual, and yeah, it's good. So now all I have to do next is just copy this over. Hold on, let me get that. And Set that in there. And basically, what that will do is it will allow us to see the ammo as it should be. If it's a shotgun, you'll see the number of shells left that you have. It will turn red once the clip size goes down, though. So, yeah. It will turn red once the clip size goes down, but then you have the individual rounds, which shows you how many individual rounds you have. So that's good. Now we'll just need to test it again. And then after this, we're getting straight into animations. Okay. So now we got the UFK. We're going to load it, of course. See if we can shoot some pellets, I guess. So, alright. Okay. Go straight to unit. Load up the infantry, the breach. And then go to deploy. It's a little weird, but we're getting there. So now we go back. Okay, that's a little bit of a problem, but it's alright. Okay, so now we go to magazine, and as you can see there, there's a problem. So, it doesn't update. However, it is working, as you can see. And now all we gotta do is do this. Data set, actually decrement, because I made a decrement method earlier in the year, or last year rather. And we'll do ammo end 1 if data get gauge index, then end. Okay, and then once we do that, we're good. It should be increment oh, never mind. Okay, that's enough for one day. Anyways, we're gonna do decrement. I was just referring to something else, if you're wondering. Decrement, ammo, and then once we do that, basically that just makes it better. So now we gotta take this and put that down. Okay. And then, once you have all of that set up, this will allow the rounds to update, and basically you'll see 18 once we fire 2 shots. Hopefully. So now, let's just see where this goes. Alright, it's loading. Alright, Eastern Road. Loadout. Okay, infantry. Not the infantry. Not the actual infantry, just breach. And now we're going to go to deploy. Go there. It's 20 rounds. Now let's see if it works when we fire. Yeah, it's a little off. But it's close enough. So now what we have to do is, of course, we have to fix that. So, yep, 1:35 is when the stream will end. So we're going to get into animations really soon. So now we got to fix this, of course. So now, once we do that, we're going to actually take the index down. And, yep, ammo in 1. Okay. And then once we do this, we're going to just do that. Of course. And I don't think we're going to need this on the AI, so we can get rid of that. Anyways, we got that out the way. Now we just need to worry about the animation. So I'm going to go here, and we're going to look at this. So if I go all the way down, we have this. So now we got to do s.lc1u, and yes, it's my mom yelling. You can hear it probably, or probably not. Anyways, lc1u, and then we have what is it? Oh wait, this is the right arm. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the right arm. I'm going to get rid of the grip. And then we'll do S tween joint. S dot LC. Actually, just do, yeah, tween joint. S dot LC1. Actually, L weld. S dot LC1U times S dot C frame. And then we'll do, let's see. So the arm is in front, holding the little handguard, the wood. So that means we got to move back by, hold on, let me just check. This is the Z-axis, the Z. And we're going to do negative 2.5. Or just, let's just do 1 for right now. And we're going to do that, of course. We're going to move this up by 0.25. And, oh yeah, nil is going to be first. And then after that, we're going to do s get alpha. Out. Actually, just do deceleration. Or actually, let's do sharp for right now. Sharp is better. And we're going to do 0.2 times nm, actually 0.1 nm speed. And I'm going to do 0.1 s dot fast wait. Yes, I implemented a fast wait because the threader or the thread thing is not very efficient when it comes to the task scheduler built into Roblox's engine is not efficient. So we have to use something that I happen to have made using Heartbeat. So now we did that. The next thing we're going to do is test that line and see where that position goes. We're doing equip first so that we can get reloading right, because it's the same thing, just different. Except when you have like one individual round and such. So just keep that in mind. Alright, moving into this. Okay, I'm going to maximize this window. Eastern Road. Breach. And then go back. Again, because I didn't get to see that. I'm going to leave that. So, and apparently it says 19 rounds. It should be 18 rounds. So we are going to fix that. If it will load. Okay. So go back to the animation and looks good. So now I'm going to just do this so that we can get it over with. And now the next thing we're going to do okay, and now so now we go to loadout. And then we'll go to breach. Back to main. Deploy. See where the position is. I'm going to pay attention this time for sure. Okay. That needs to be a little better, but yeah, we get the idea. So now all we gotta do is we gotta turn this up. Well, actually, here's what I think we should do. I think we should take the animation, increase the time. So in next case, instead of 0.1, let's go with 0.2. 0.2 on both sides. We'll take this, copy it, and then we'll do, let's see, I think this should be empty because we're doing it on empty. And then we'll do tween joint, and then we'll do something with that, the hinge. Oh yeah, I almost forgot the hinge. So now let's go straight to the client and look at the animation API, because there is something missing. I just remembered. And we're also going to look at the assembler, because you're going to need to look at that in order to get the hinges right. So, let's see, gun assembler. And let's go to the weapon builder too. Okay. Let's see, we'll do the barrel release hinge. Or rather, let's just do the barrel swap effector. I mean, either one would work. Never mind. So, we got the shotgun working, but I think I'm going to end it here because I am experiencing some fatigue right now. But we did great. We actually managed to fix the built bullet problem. We got the shotgun to fire. We got things to work that wouldn't really work before. So I am going to end it here with something to be happy about. My name is Erados12, and I will see you next time. Next time we'll continue from this point, and we'll actually make sure it gets done right. You know, gets fixed. The UI gets fixed and everything. So, see you next time.